Let's talk about some of the Asian Pacific Americans who have contributed great things to U.S. history that we probably weren't taught much about in class. Like, did you know that even though their families were interned in camps, the most decorated unit in the military history of the United States was comprised almost entirely of second-generation Japanese Americans, the 442nd unit in 1944 to 46. We're talking about one unit that's earned over 4,000 Purple Hearts and 7 presidential unit citations, and included U.S. Senator Daniel Inouye. Daniel Inouye is the only member of Congress who's had both a Medal of Freedom and a Medal of Honor bestowed upon him. There are people like Larry Itliong, who was born in the Philippines but immigrated to the U.S. when he was an early teenager, and ultimately was a key person who worked alongside Philip Vera Cruz, another Filipino-American leader, and Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta in the founding of the United Farm Workers labor strike. So we often hear about Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, but you don't learn as much about the fact that actually Larry Itliong and Philip Vera Cruz were a key part of that process as well to earn rights for labor workers in California. You can look up in the website Americans Who Tell the Truth, Grace Lee Boggs, a Chicago labor activist, a Chinese American who married a Black American, and the two of them founded Detroit Summer in 1992 and spent their lives working to improve the living conditions of working class people of all kinds of marginalized communities. And maybe you've heard about Yuriko Koichiyama. Yuriko Koichiyama was a civil rights political activist who got started getting involved in community movements in Harlem in the 1960s. She met Malcolm X and became a core part of his organization for Afro-American unity and worked with him so closely and often that she is the person often seen in the heartbreaking photo of the death of Malcolm X. She is the one holding him. Yuriko Koichiyama continued to be an activist till the very end of her life. It's really when we collaborate with others that we all do better. The Third World Liberation Front was a joint action of the Black student unions and multiple Asian American, Hispanic, Latinx, Indigenous students. It was the longest student strike in history. It started at San Francisco State University and also went to UC Berkeley, but it's really seen as cross-racial shared goals strike that helped to bring about the beginning founding of ethnic studies and created education and opportunities for generations to come. Asian Americans are actually in all kinds of places now. You can look at the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, currently chaired by Dr. Judy Chu, who was a psychologist before becoming a policymaker. You can see them in people like Dr. Vivek Murthy, our first South Asian Heritage Surgeon General, not only under Obama, but now also under President Biden. You see Asian Americans in some of your favorite entertainment, everything from the classic musician Yo-Yo Ma to current stars that we see in entertainment, like Stephen Yuen, Mindy Kaling, Lana Condor, Lisa Liu, and Ming-Na Wen, that Asian Americans are a diverse group. They might be immigrants, they might be adoptees, they might be fifth generation or more Americans, and we all speak different languages and may have different places and different heritages, but that Asian Americans are a fundamental part of America. Getting through the xenophobic targeting and scapegoating right now that is hurting people based on nothing but stereotypes and also judging people just by phenotypes, just how they look, not knowing anything is actually very harmful to our communities and our safety. And for Asian Americans who have been here for generations, serving in uniform, serving in healthcare, contributing to education, working in small businesses everywhere in this country for generations, this is a difficult time. I hope that you feel like you've learned something new about Asian American history, both the struggles that are often not talked about, but also the partnerships and the resilience, and looking to our new generation of young leaders and young stars, and hoping that this could be a start of some dialogue or maybe some more reading that you'd like to do as we all learn and grow together about diverse U.S. history.